Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave. Today we're going to be previewing Arsenal's game away at Anfield. Huge game for Mikel Arteta. Big game for Jurgen Klopp following their 3-2 defeat to West Ham United. Guys, if you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. Check out SofaScore, link in the description below. Anyway, let's dive in. Big game for Arsenal. They've got to continue their run. They're in a really good run of form. They're playing really good stuff. They're defending well. And arguably they're playing Liverpool at the perfect time following that defeat to West Ham United. This is a huge part to Liverpool's season, whether they can truly, stick with City and Chelsea, or they're going to drop away and join the likes of Man United, Arsenal, and West Ham. Big game, fourth versus fifth, something that we didn't see at the start of the season. Arsenal have looked very good with their setup. The likes of Bukayo, Saka, Rowe, obviously got the headlines, but I've quite actually liked Lacazette as well, playing in that second striker position. So let's have a look at the potential teams, how the tactical side of things, how it's all going to work. Liverpool, again, right now, have a big problem in terms of injuries. So many central midfielders out right now. Issues up front as well with Roberto Firmino. So it's going to be a real tough game. Henderson picking up a knock as well on in the international break. I think for Liverpool as well, the form of Joel Matip has been good this season, and as well looking at them going forward, they've been very impressive. So tactically, Liverpool kind of expect them to play, their classic 4-3-3. Diogo Jota through the middle. But I think that element and that side of Diogo Jota's game, which I think has been quite underrated, his ability to join into midfield and create this diamond shape for Liverpool that we know Firmino does so well with that kind of false nine movement. Jota's really impressed me with that this season. I think in terms of Liverpool, we saw the right-hand side, be a massive part of Liverpool's game. And the Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's provided some good thrust going forward, but I think it's all about Trent on that side. For Arsenal, I think looking at what we've seen recently against Liverpool, focusing up with their setup that's worked kind of well recently, obviously with the likes of Lacazette playing off Aubameyang, Rowe in there, Thomas Partey and Lokonga being their base, and Tierney, got a bit of Ben White, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, and then Ramsdale has been absolutely on fire this season. Obviously, in recent weeks, we've seen Nuno Tavares playing as that fullback. I think one of the big things for Arsenal in this game in terms of tactical points, they've got to be really bold on the ball. I think that's something that we've seen them do this season, especially with Ramsdale. Ramsdale's shown such quality on the football that I didn't think was there, to be quite honest. But I think his ability on the ball allows Arsenal to kind of play out. And you say, Dave, you're telling Arsenal to play out the back against one of the best pressing teams in Europe, and I'm saying yes, definitely do it. With the side of Arsenal's game and how they've looked good to press, the natural U-bend they could create in midfield with Lacazette dropping and Rowe dropping when they're playing out from the back. I'm talking about the U between the two DMs and the two central midfielders, and then maybe pinning the back line with Aubameyang's pace and Saka's pace. That could play through Liverpool's pressing structure. And I feel like that's got to be a way where Arsenal are very bold in possession and look to play. The other option, obviously, for Ramsdale is looking long for Saka. It's looking long for Aubameyang. Maybe less to Aubameyang, or maybe utilising the switch of play out to Rowe or Lacazette. I think that's going to be very important. But if you can get at the Liverpool backline, we've seen teams open them up, and I think Ramsdale's going to be really important with his kicking in this match. For Liverpool, in terms of their play, obviously, the transition's going to be very important. But I think one of the big things that I've enjoyed about Arsenal's setup and their shape, their 4-4-2 looks really organised, or 4-4-1-1 looks really organised without the ball. And it'll be one of those games that I feel that Liverpool will dominate certain phases, as they always do. And it'll be about how they can get the likes of Mane, Jota and Salah in between the lines. I think one of the big one for Liverpool maybe in this game is potentially playing Salah a little bit more narrow than they have done. We've seen Salah operate quite wide this season, but I feel like getting him in that narrow space and then allowing him to cut across the box is how you can get at this Arsenal team. There's a goal recently where I think Gabriel and the Conga were too nice in terms of their tackling, and I think they conceded a goal from a player cutting in from that right hand side. I think that's what you could see from Salah in this game. There is concerns over Robertson as well, so Tsimikas come in, but I don't think that's a problem. Tsimikas created 3 big chances against Atletico Madrid in the recent Champions League game, so I feel like that's going to be another part of it where you've got some more quality from that left-hand side. So a big game from Saka and Tomiyasu in terms of controlling either Robertson or Tsimikas with Mane's ability on the ball. But I think it's a very winnable game for Arsenal as much as it's a winnable game for Liverpool. I think whoever scores the first goal has got a really good moment. And talking about that, allowing them to counter-attack. Both teams are so sort of geared to counter-attack if they can take a lead. With Arsenal's front 2 plus Smith Rowe and Saka. And talking Smith Rowe on the break, his ability to time his runs into the penalty area at the right time has been simply sublime for Arsenal this season. When we look at the numbers of Emile Smith Rowe, he's got the most goals plus assists for Arsenal with 6. He's been directly involved in 9 goals in his last 10 games in all comps for club and country. Scored 6, assisted 3. One of the big things, another side to this game is set pieces might be vitally important. Arsenal and Liverpool have both scored 6 goals from set pieces in the Premier League this season, the most of any side. Arsenal have got a slightly better record defending them, conceding 2 goals to Liverpool's 3 this season. The other side as well, which is a big surprise, Mikel Arteta has beaten Liverpool 3 times in 5 attempts since becoming Arsenal manager, with Newcastle being the only side that have beaten Klopp's team more. Talking about superstars this season, we spoke a lot about the Arsenal players in there. A few different names that we mentioned there. Smith Rowe, Saka, both been really good for Arsenal going forward this season. I think one of the players that they've both got to look up to is Mohamed Salah and his form this season, directly involved in 17 goals so far. He's level with Karim Benzema at the top of Europe. On average, he's scored or assisted every 58 minutes. And across his Premier League career versus Arsenal, he's been directly involved in 11 goals in 11 games. So definitely for fantasy football, someone that you just have to captain. But I think Arsenal have got to kind of deal with him going forward. Not only Mohamed Salah is going to be a threat, but Diogo Jota got a really good record against Arsenal since moving. He debuted, in fact, since he moved from Wolves to Liverpool in the Premier League against Arsenal, off the bench and grabbed himself a goal in the 10 minutes. He's in fact played 39 minutes for Liverpool against Arsenal, had 5 shots, scored 3 goals. So I think that's someone that just seems to like playing against Arsenal Football Club. I think one of the big things for Liverpool is managing their injuries as well. We spoke about that a little bit with the team setup. But Liverpool have currently got 10 players out, more than any other side in the Premier League. It's going to be a big period for Jurgen Klopp in terms of managing the squad with the likes of Firmino, Joe Gomez, James Milner, Naby Keita, Sadio Mane, Jordan Henderson, Andy Robertson, Divock Origi, Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott all being out right now. This is a big, big concern for Liverpool. So arguably, could be the perfect time for Arsenal to play them. Right now, slightly weaker squad. Arsenal in sensational form, I think, if we're honest. Like, if we look at the last few results for Arsenal in the Premier League, beating the likes of Watford, Leicester City. That was a great performance against Leicester. Really good performance against Leicester City. And in a big game as well. And the organisation of the 4-4-1-1 I thought was really good for them. If they can provide that against Liverpool, as we saw West Ham do last week with the pace that Arsenal have got, you think the directness of Gabriel and Ben White at times, they can go direct. Gabriel is happy to look for a ball in behind for a Aubameyang. Ben White's happy to carry out of pressure. I think both of those things are going to be big for Liverpool. So I think the most important players for Arsenal, Ramsdale, Ben White and Gabriel in this game. Those guys can have a good game in a possession phase, but also in an attacking sense. Arsenal could win this one. It would be a massive, massive surprise for a team at the start of the season that looked pretty poor. You think the last big game they played, the 5-0 defeat to Man City, but you've obviously got to class this as a big game between Leicester and Arsenal. Mikel Arteta's getting his sort of side across to how they're playing and how they should continue. Massive game in the Premier League. Thanks for watching, guys. Get your score predictions in the comments below. I want to see whether you're backing Liverpool or you're backing Arsenal. For me, I think this is going to be a banger. Smith Rowe on the score sheet, Saka on the score sheet, Salah on the score sheet. I'm going to go 3-2, but don't know who to. Anyway, guys, check out the SofaScore link in the description below. We'll see you soon. I've been Statman Dave. See you later.